Okay, welcome back at ROWDY. Today we're gonna dig in deeper into the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. We made a book summary of 2.5 minutes, an animated video. You can also see the lessons there, but today we're gonna dig into these lessons. So the first one, make people feel important. What does that mean? People always have things they're proud of. They accomplished things in the past, and it doesn't matter how long ago, but they want to talk about it. And if you're interested in how they did it, like what kind of strategy they used to get to the goal, you will give them an amazing feeling and a great time. And the second thing is smile a lot. And this really helps when you get into groups. For especially men and actually also women, it makes you less dangerous. So if we have, for example, a big guy, a strong guy who comes up to a girl and he looks very serious, then a smile would take that a little bit away, take the aggressiveness away. And you will notice that you can get into groups so much easier when you're a happy person, because people like to have happy people around them. And even when people make jokes and laugh about them, but if necessary, learn humor. I think it's very important that you understand jokes and the what people are saying, that you can listen good, so you get the joke. And then the question could be like, how can I learn humor? The professionals in this world who master humor are comedians. So I would recommend to watch those people. What do they do and why is it funny? And just analyze that, and that will get you a lot better. Then aim for the 30-60 distribution of the talking, which means let the other person speak. You don't have to like talk somebody's ears off. It's only annoying to people. And also the other side of it, it's not so exhausting when you're not constantly speaking. People feel hurt when they can talk, and especially when they feel free and safe that they can talk to you and they can say everything to you. So that will happen naturally. And talk especially what they want to get. Everybody has these accomplishments that we talked about, but they also have things they want to get. And what you can do is, if you have a good network or even a network or an idea which they can help them to get their goals, use it. Like, you will gain credits for that, and maybe later you might ask for a favor to this person, so then you can come back because you already offered things and you gave them something. And the fourth one, talk about subjects that the other person likes. This is a tricky one. When you notice somebody is unfamiliar with a field, subject, or topic, then you don't want to dig in so deep. I experienced this in the past with a few people, and when you have deep knowledge or you know some things which might be complicated for some people, but you have figured it out and you are proud that you know those things, and you kind of put them on somebody's table, like, I know these things, and if people have no clue what you're talking about, then they're not listening. They get uninterested. They might even get angry because they feel dumb. So stay in the corners when people understand what you're saying. Then things will go a lot easier for you because they can also respond to you. We gave the example in the video when somebody's talking about girls and psychology, and then he goes to neuroscience. There are very few people on this earth who know what neuroscience is and what you can, what is actually involved in those topics. And if you're talking about those topics, people are not going to listen anymore. But almost everybody knows about girls, and when you notice, okay, this person is a little bit smarter, or this person has a bit of knowledge or is really interested in the topic, then you can go, but be aware of where you can go and when to stop. Then become an active listener. And this is always yeah, it's twisting my mind because sometimes I think, people didn't really hear me, but they also didn't ask if I can say something again. So that also says something to me. But what I also notice is when two people are talking to each other and the one is not hearing what the other person is saying or doesn't understand what the other person is saying, they don't really care. So that is a very, very bad trait, because it communicates that you're not interested in the other in the other person, and that's not what you want. And if trying to understand really what the other person is saying, and then you can also give a good response so they feel more connected in this conversation. So if you don't understand what the person is saying, just try to ask a question, like just to understand what this person says, so you can give a good response, so you actually know what the person is talking about, if that makes sense. And then know people's name. You heard this cliche thing like the name is the best sound people know. That is true. But what I like to do is that I use a sound, an object, a view, a memory, something like that, which that the name just sticks to my head, and then I can never forget it. Of course, it's hard when there are 5, 6 people like introducing to you at the same time. But if you're on one, then you can really use that because it's so awkward where you don't know uh, what the name is of the other person, and you cannot ask it like 30 minutes after if you're already in this conversation, because that's a little bit rude. Then we have the leadership and sales part of the book. Also 6 lessons. Let's start with number 1. If somebody did something that you don't like, you tell them indirectly. And that means that you never do this in a group. So let's say somebody treats you in a way that you don't like. You never say this in a group to make the person feel bad. No, you take them apart. They can have a minute with you, and they talk, and then you just describe what the situation was like, and that you're not really saying like you did something wrong, but you just describe the situation, and what is your opinion about it, and then hopefully the person gives in saying that yeah, I didn't see that, I'm sorry, and then it's fine. Then the second thing is talk about the mistake you made in the past before you're pointing out what the other person did wrong. So let's say somebody did something wrong, you got angry, but before you get angry or you say like you did that, you can say like, yeah, but I did a similar thing in the past, and I know that can happen, but realize that it's not good. Then use questions to give orders. I think this is kind of straightforward. If somebody says to you, do this, you must do that, I want this by then, it's very authoritarian, and it sounds very rude, and people will feel small. And if you ask in a nice way, hey, have you thought of this, and uh, can you not forget to do this because it is important to me, that will give a different frame to how you communicate that towards people, and they will feel a lot better, even though they forgot about the task. Yeah, this is a good one. Notice that somebody improved on the things they worked on. So let's say you meet somebody 6 months ago and he was talking or she was talking about a diet that she or he was about to do, and you notice that there's a slightly difference. But maybe in your mind it's not so big, but they worked on it, and you see that there's a little bit of a difference, and you just say that. Like, people will love you for that if you notice that, because they worked on it, right? They're very, what I say, they're proud of it, their accomplishment, what we say in the beginning. uh, they did that, so they're proud, and you say like, how did you do that? How did you lose that amount of weight, or how did you get that PhD? What was your strategy? How did you get through it? How did you get that new job? How did you set up that business? What was your strategy there? Like, I'm interested, and I found it very cool that you did that. yeah, name their ideal personality. This especially works good on a work floor. So if you can say what uh, people can be, or what you see for them would be like their best selves, and you name like how that's gonna look. They're gonna believe it, and then they're gonna live up to it, and then they improve as well. So you really help people if you can see the bigger picture. Because let's say somebody is like 28, and you say like, if you're 35, you can be this, and that will give people a hope and belief, and then they really trying to live up to it. Suggest to do things to make others feel happy. This is quite handy in groups, because you have to realize that it's in groups. It's never about you. Never. Like, don't be this person. I want this, and let's do this because I want that. Just think of the group first. What kind of people do we have in the group? If we are on holiday and there are certain desires of every person in the group, what is the democracy in this group dynamic? What does the majority want to do, and is everybody okay with that? And then you make a suggestion to for the whole group, instead of what do I want? I'm hungry. I want to drink. I want to do this. I want to do that, and that will kill the vibe, and people will not hang out with you anymore, because they will feel that there is a little bit of selfish behavior in this matter, and people like take their distance because they don't feel there is taking care of them. And this is one of the definitions of leadership: if you can take care of other people. So this was a longer version of the How to Win Friends and Influence People. It was, I think, approximately about 400 pages. So I hope this really helps. And I mean, like, you can still read the book. There are good stories would make you understand the situations better. They use a lot of business situations. It's still fun to read, but hopefully this is enough. And if not, let me know. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time.